Good afternoon, everyone. Grace and peace to you from our Lord Jesus Christ and all the saints here in foggy California. If you're wondering why I'm dressed up like an Eskimo, um, it's cold here. Um, it's been foggy here for almost a month. We live in a big valley here, right in the middle of California. Big Valley. If you do Google it, you'll see an old TV show called The Big Valley. Well, that's where I live. I live in that Big Valley from that TV show. It's about 90 miles wide by about 600 miles long. It's a big valley. And this time of year, not every year, but most years, it fills in with fog. So it'll like settle to within 1 or 200 feet of the ground, and it'll just be like a big plastic lid on a bowl. It seals the cold in. It's warm up above. It's warm up in the foothills. It's sunny up in the foothills. It's sunny over on the coast. But here in this valley, it is cold and foggy. So that's why. Coming to you, I just got off a call about a router that is about to be installed. We have a new project. We're moving off of physical telephones. Try to see if we have one around here. We do not. They're Cisco phones. I think I have a piece of one right over here. Somebody stole the handset. I don't know where it went, but basically we have these Cisco phones, which I don't know where the handset for that one went. And those are pretty much on everybody's desk. And what they want to do is get rid of those and use soft phones with Microsoft Teams. Okay, great. I never answer my phone anyway. I don't like talking on it. I don't like making phone calls. I don't like the telephone. Just a personality flaw. So that's a project that's coming up. In furtherance of that project, AT&T is adding a new circuit to the hospital here, and just got delivered. And as luck would have it, we just removed this router. I'll move my water bottle. This router here just got removed. If you'll recall, a few weeks ago I did a video in which I talked about inadvertently unplugging my firewall when I meant to unplug this bad boy. It has two power cords there, just like my firewall has two power cords. They don't look anything alike, but I just had a bad case of cranial flatulence that day. I'm turning it around. For all you guys that are into techno porn, there's the rear panel. Well, technically it's the front panel. So, got places to plug stuff in, some SFP ports, Ethernet ports, USB ports, ports for the where the circuits get plugged into, T1s or whatever they want to plug in there. So this router got deinstalled. It belongs to UC Davis. We had a partnership with UC Davis for a while. I believe it was for neurology. Anyway, University of California at Davis, if you're not familiar who they are. It's an excellent medical school. And we were consulting with them for, might have been stroke patients. But anyway, we stopped that partnership like maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago. And UC Davis tech staff has finally gotten around to asking for their router back. So I guess they need a router. So we deinstalled that, and it's just as well because we are getting a new router sent to us from AT&T. It's kind of nice because that one was 2U, and this is just a single U router. This is what the heck is this? This is a Cisco. Where's the model number? I can't read it. They've got printing all over it. Let's see if it's printed somewhere else. Like right there. No, that's the software license. Well, here we go. What do we got here? Cisco's part number, serial number. Well, I am sorry, I am not able to find the model number on this particular router. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's a newer newer model. Here, I'll just film that. You guys can pause, see if you can find the model number there. I could not find it, but yeah, there you go. So that other router got removed from here, and so I'm just going to ask them if they just want to drop it in right there. The actual demarc that they're going to go to is already, it's up there, that Sienna there right on the bottom, and they put in that SFP connector. Am I pointing at the right one? Yeah, I am. So that comes from AT&T. They put that in. The circuit is there. It's been turned up, but they need to plug it into the router and test it. And then the other piece of that will be they're adding a modem to put on top of the router or next to or whatever, so they can do out-of-band management. If they can't get to the router over the circuit for whatever reason, they can dial into that modem, literally dial into the modem, and open up a console session to the router and do whatever they need to do. And that kind of brings up something I wanted to mention about other vendors' equipment. Many, many years ago, I made a video called No Ubiquity. And got a bunch of Ubiquity fanboys mad at me. Sorry, you guys know you're fanboys. They got pretty mad because I didn't want to try to get into that Ubiquity router and troubleshoot it more. And what I'm still having trouble explaining to them to this day is that I didn't own that router. I don't have the passwords for that router. There's no way for me to get in there. Okay, so this is the same situation. AT&T owns this router. I don't own this router. They're not going to give me admin usernames or passwords or anything like that. It's all on them. So you're going to find from time to time in your networking careers that other vendors are going to install equipment in your racks. Those racks are mine. I own them. I say what goes where. And they're going to come out and install it where I tell them to and power it up, plug it in, and test it. It's going to be on them to make it work. I will not troubleshoot it, nor should you. If a vendor comes out and, sorry, I shouldn't point like that, nor should you. If a vendor comes out and puts in a piece of network equipment that they are managing, they should not be asking you to troubleshoot it. If you want to, out of the goodness of your heart, help, but just know that if you break it, they're going to blame you. So they'll find some way to say, well, you didn't do what they told them to, or you didn't understand them, and whatever. I just make it a rule. If somebody else owns it, I don't touch it. So same with the Ubiquity router of many years ago. Geez, that's probably looking at 7 or 8 years ago by now. Same for this AT&T router sitting right behind you. It's not going to touch it. So anyway, they're coming in, is it next week? No, week after next. They're coming in on the 22nd. I think it's Monday, December 22nd. So just a few days before Christmas. So they better not bump anything. I don't want to have to troubleshoot network problems, you know, because they're putting it in my rack. I mean, if you look, let me open it back up. They're putting it in down there. I think that should be fairly innocuous. But I mean, if they were to mess with this for any reason, you know, or unplug something inadvertently, they shouldn't. They totally shouldn't, but we don't know what we don't know. They could bump something or catch their finger on something and pull it out. And I don't want to have to troubleshoot that. So I'm a little nervous about it happening so close to Christmas, but as my friend Tarek says, it is what it is. So that's that for that. So now the other thing I wanted to bring up is the future of this channel. And I got another tidbit, but I will save that to the end. So future, oh, you want to stare at my big old gut. There we go. You can stare at my big old gut and my ugly face. Trying to think of what to do with the channel. So I don't have a home lab. I'm not independently wealthy. Just full disclosure, you know how much I make per month on this channel? Averages about $40 per month. $40 per month, 40. So I can't afford to buy network equipment. Just not gonna not gonna do that. So I don't think I'll have much technical value to contribute, but I may have some contributions that are related, but not necessarily technical in nature. I believe they call them the soft technical skills. So what I'm thinking of is kind of like career coaching. You want to get into networking, you're not sure how to go about it, or you can like tell me your specific situation. You got a difficult boss, you're maybe looking at a career change, um, dealing with other people who think they're network admins and they're really not, or you want to be a network admin and the network admins won't let you. So that'd be a career coaching thing. I was thinking of doing that. I'm also thinking of doing like resume reviews. Would you like me to take a look at your resume and make suggestions, or your LinkedIn profile, something like that? Um, and another thing I'm thinking of doing is, and then this is in a more of a, actually all three of these might be in a more of a personal interactional vein, but mock interviews. So you're getting ready to go to an interview for a job. Now, obviously, I won't know exactly what questions they would ask you, but I could ask you questions that I would ask if I was going to hire someone. So, you can give me some details about the job, or send me the job opening, and I can take a look at it and think, well, if I was that hiring manager, what would I want to know about the person that I was going to hire? Sorry, my ears are getting cold again. Yeah, and then I was thinking of ways to kind of build up more community, more interaction. I'll have more time to do it. Right now, I don't have a lot of time to do that because I've got a day job and I've got a wife who wants all of my attention when I get home. I mean, look at this. I don't know why she wants all my attention, but she does. So she's nuts, I tell you, nuts. And then another thing I'm possibly considering is having like office hours where you could, have a Zoom call with me live, one-on-one, or even a Zoom seminar where you can ask questions. So just things I'm thinking of. If you guys think that would be beneficial or you're interested in any of that, leave me a comment below, and let me know, because Google AdSense is doing absolutely nothing. And let me backpedal. I am not in this for the money, but there's a lot of you that like hearing me talk week after week. And so the videos will go on week after week. I will keep coming out and say something about something technical related. But there won't be any hard, fast technical things to do, like setting up spanning tree or showing you pictures of my environment or my fiber racks. I won't have that. But the soft skills, the management skills, dealing with management, dealing with budgeting, dealing with all kinds of other stuff. Yeah, that's something I can still offer. Drawn, maybe I'll tell some war stories from the good old days when when I was really hating life. But anyway, those are some ideas I had. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me if that would be interesting to you all. And let's see, one other thing. Oh, yes. So the job itself, they are going to be opening up this job to beyond just the county. So they will be hiring from the public, and my CIO is looking for he's looking for best in class. I don't know if we're going to get that here. You're not going to attract best in class to this area of California. This is not San Francisco. This is not Los Angeles. You can see how I dress. It's cold and foggy. There's lots of farms around here. Anybody that's familiar with California kind of knows where I am. I know there's some guys down in Bakersfield that know exactly where I am. Some guys in Fresno. Yeah. But the good thing is, despite the geography, they pay prevailing Bay Area wages here. So, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. You live in a cheaper area and you're getting paid a richer area's wages. So, although it's getting to be where it costs just as much to live here as it does over in the San Francisco Bay Area. So, anyway, but you save the big old long drive to get over there. So, or way up to Sacramento. So, anyway, leave a comment below if you're interested in this kind of job. And I don't mean just like, oh, we're curious, but I mean you are truly, truly interested. And make me believe it. Then when it opens up, I can share some details with you if you want to apply for it. But I haven't run that past my CIO yet. We'll just surprise him. So had a discussion with him about this yesterday, and as I was sitting in my teeny tiny little cubicle, and then he started thinking, oh, I guess we're going to have to think about where this person's going to sit. I said, yeah, well, look at it this way. You probably won't find anybody before I leave anyway, so you won't have to worry about it. Silver lining! He kind of laughed, but not really. So anyway, that's all I got for this week, guys. If you like what you heard and kind of saw, click the subscribe button, click the notification bell, leave a comment below if you have any questions, any concerns, any prayer requests. I met a waitress this weekend, and I don't always, I should, but this time I was moved to ask her, hey, my wife and I pray before we eat. Is there anything we can pray for you? She told me this woman was in her maybe late 20s. She told me that she has two small children at home, and her husband has stage 4 cancer. So if you're the praying type, pray for Grayson, Gracen. Pray for her and her husband. Pray for God's provision and healing in their lives, and provision for her and her family. So, and if you have any prayer requests for me, please leave them below. And if you want me to share them on this channel, I will do that. So that's, like I said, that's all I got for this week, guys. Oh, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions about the future of the channel. That too. We'll see you guys all next week. God bless.